Now it's telling me I'm live again. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, I know. So can you guys hear me? Okay, good. Jeez, I don't know. I just had all sorts of trouble there. Shut up, Gary, jerk. Just because you got a new avatar thing, you think you're so cool. Man, I don't know. I had to shut it down and open up. It kept crapping out on me. I actually took and switched. We have our modem or router modem has two different Wi-Fis. I switched to the other one. Maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know. It's true, Phoenix. It happens. So John said he was first. Who was first in this one? Who was first in this one? Oh, it was Gary. See, it was John screwed up. He lost his first title because I deleted that one already, so it's gone. Nobody will know. Nobody will ever know that John was first, but that's okay. So, yeah, The Walking Dead, right? Good. Negan's still alive. Spoiler, I guess. I don't know, maybe. Sorry, John. I had to do what I could to screw you over, I guess. So once again, they opened up on Negan with fully automatic weapons, and nobody hit him. I guess had the chance and didn't do it. So yeah, I just realized this a couple days ago, and we were talking about it, that I am technically the first live chat to be able to talk about The Walking Dead. So that's kind of cool. So we can jump on it tonight if you guys want to talk about it a little bit, or save it for Matt. I mean, obviously that's Matt's part of Matt's bread and butter, so I don't want to step on his toes all that much. So we'll give it a minute here, since we had so much trouble to starting up, and then we'll get going. Yeah, this can be whatever you guys want it to be. You know what I mean? Just like always. What's up, D-Temp? You know, it could be food chat, could be zombie chat, could be gun chat, could be a little bit of everything. Yeah, RL, smartass. I hope you got your shit and pants on. A little anticlimactic, I guess. No, you turned down the lights. I only have one light in here, actually. So it is what it is. I'll change that for next week. Maybe I'll put a dimmer on it or something. Can it be a naked dance with scarf? No. It can't, Clover. But what's up, though? So what do you guys want to talk about? You want to talk about the show? John, you turned down. I turned John down. I don't want him living with me. Sorry, John. You have to find somebody else. Maybe Clover Tack will take you. Clover Tack, will you take John in? If we mail him to you, we'll pay for postage. It's cool. All you got to do is accept the package. That sounds bad. I mean, maybe when John gets there, if you want to accept his package too, that's fine. You know, whatever you want to do. You need a pool boy. That's a little bit. That's even a little bit creepier that you want John to be your pool boy. All the old pool boy jokes. You know, what's going on, Sean? So, we got 8 so far. I don't know if John is Puerto Rican. I don't think he is. John's package is closed for business, he says. Grim 90. You got your band hammer warmed up, Grim? Got it all polished up? Just in case things get ugly? Yeah, John's easy. He can be for the right price. Yeah, I'm not cheap, but I'm easy. I'm the same way, John. Everybody has their price, right? Sean's a delivery guy. He'll take you down there. What's up, TJ? George, Phoenix. See, Phoenix says, "What's the matter, Colonel Sanders? Chicken." I'm saying, yeah. If Frank Castle shows up, are you saying he polishes his hammer? He should. You should polish your hammer every once in a while. John says he'll do it for a nice juicy steak. There you go. Yeah, Frank old Frankie boy's got himself banned out of a couple chats already this week. Clover says, "What's the deal with Frank?" Frank got the old hammer boot on Yankees chat today, and he got the old hammer boot on your chat the other day, courtesy of me, Clover. So he was just being obnoxious. Not even so much obnoxious, but it was the language, you know. On most other chats, I don't think anybody would have even paid attention to him, but I sent him packing. Too Hottie was on him. Too Hottie put him in timeout twice. I put him in timeout once. You know, fourth time's a charm, I guess. So, you know, respect your channel. I was using my high capacity cheese grater 2 days ago, says Jared. I was grating ginger. I'll tell you what, if you want to, I don't know if you ever peeled ginger, you peel it with a spoon, it actually works. That's the best way to do it. Just a regular old soup spoon takes the skin right off. RESPECT. That's right, man. We respect your channel. I know we all act up a little bit, but sometimes you act up. Sometimes when you act up, if you get told to shut up and you don't, then you gotta go. So, I want to kick it off quick here with, my Patreon thanks, always. I always want to do that, and if I ever do forget that, because sometimes you get bullshit and I'm tired, I don't want to forget that. So if I ever do that, I want you guys to yell at me and, swing the hammer at me too. But Ghost Tactical, Travis P11, Psycho Camp, Mr. GIZZARD Gary Decker, and Smeggy42 for supporting the channel, which is great. I haven't had a whole lot of time to do food stuff lately because it's just been brutal at work. Some parties coming up and stuff like that. So, I will get back to it. For now, Sunday nights, Sunday night chat's been fun the last couple of weeks. I think we've had some, a good time. And try and keep it open. I try not to have too many agendas going into it. And let CloverTac, no, you don't. No, but that's okay. I'll never, ever call somebody out for not supporting me. We all, put our money where we want to. You know what I mean? So, I would not do that. So, if you feel it's a good buck or two to spend or whatever you want to, that's awesome. If not, hey, I'm doing what I'm doing, not to make money. It's nice, but whatever. Like I said, try and keep it open. I have a couple things I want to talk about today, actually. Normally I don't, but trying to sort of, as things pop up, things that you guys would know about too, I'm sure. Things pop up and I, bullshit a little bit. And if you have any questions or comments or whatever, we can talk about it. Like I said, as always, I'm by myself, so if I miss anything, throw it back up there. So I might catch it the next time around if I'm mid bullshit, but one of the things that kind of caught my attention this week was something that kept popping up on my feed and I hadn't watched it, and it was a Crowder video with Christopher Titus. And it was, oh my God, it was something else, man. Look it up, search it on YouTube. It's on the old YouTubes, and it's crazy. It's crazy. They're screaming at each other. They're, talking over each other, telling each other to shut up, whatever. But it was pretty nuts. Sean says Chris is almost retarded. Well, first of all, I've never thought he was funny. Even when he was popular, I couldn't really figure out why. And he had a show and he was doing stand-up and he was doing all this stuff. But but you know, I mean, they had to show, they had a pretty good cast. Stacy Keach was his dad, I think, right? Something like that. But you know, my highlight of this whole damn video was, you know, Titus kept asking Crowder, you know, if he thought, you know, to give him an example of what the government might take your guns or whatever. Take our guns, I should say our guns. Yeah, pretty much anything, Phoenix. Anything goes. But he, you know, Crowder brought up Australia, and he said it was a mandatory, you know, it was Titus said about it was a gun buyback. And, of course, Crowder brought in, it was not a buyback. It was a buyback, but it was a mandatory buyback. He said, well, it was just still a buyback. And he's like, no, it was a mandatory buyback. You had to turn them in. And basically made that, you know, as a point of what a government could do, you know, if they wanted to, if they had the ability. So it was just this crazy back and forth. And he kept telling Crowder, Titus kept telling Crowder that he wasn't giving him an example when he was using that as an example, and it was crazy. Go watch it. I've never thought Titus was funny, but this made me laugh, and so it's probably the funniest thing I've ever seen Titus do, even though it wasn't a comedy. So, you know, that, you know, it is what it is. Another one that blew my mind a little bit was Langley firearms, whatever the hell it is, that Clover and Ghost and all those guys were talking about. I went and watched the fish video, which I'd heard so much about this damn fish video that I had to go watch it. And it was just as ridiculous and crazy. Yeah, Langley Firearms Academy, that's right, because this is an academy and you want to learn. You know, you go to an academy to learn. And I think this is a great learning experience. So, so this son of a bitch takes an AR-10, you know, shoves a fish on the end of it, and lets one rip, and it just turns into chowder all over the damn place. Go figure, right? You know, he just thinks it's awesome, and you know, I just started thinking back. You know, it just really made me think back to when I was a kid, and you know, I was learning to shoot, and I was shooting with my grandpa, and you know, Clover's a great example of this, like teaching kids to shoot and teaching them what's acceptable and not acceptable, and all the ins and outs, you know, and I guarantee, if I ever tried to shove anything on the front of a barrel of a gun and shoot it, my grandpa would have slapped me in the back of the head as hard as he could. And he was, you know, my greatest fan, always, my grandpa was. It just seems like a super shitty thing to, you know, promote. I know it's not dangerous, probably. You know, I'm sure having the flash hider on there actually probably prevents any kind of overpressurization of the barrel. But I just think it's a shoe. I left a comment and I said, hey, I just don't think this is a great thing to promote. And you know, I said next time maybe you should drive a cork into the end of the barrel and squeeze one off and see what happens. So that's my gun gripe. I guess I'll do a gun gripe here. I just don't think it's a good idea. I think it's dangerous to teach kids that are possibly watching that, you know, it's okay to shove stuff on your barrel and squeeze off rounds. I think it's, you know, I think it's bad taste. You know, without some sort of, I mean, throw a disclaimer up there or something like, hey, this is super dangerous, don't be an asshole, you know. Yeah, whatever. So that's my fish video. A couple other things to kind of talk about here. Matt, you know, Never Enough Ammo is putting, you know, a ton of heart and soul into this into his 2A rally for the, you know, to go to the Capitals on the 5th. Last time I'd heard, it's still on for the 5th, and you know, I know he talked about it possibly being pushed back, but it looks like it's still going. Yeah, hashtag 2 rally. 2A rally to 2017. That's right, Clover Tech. And I know, you know, he's hot on Texas. You know, he's down there, and there's a couple other guys in Texas that they're really pushing for. Travis is talking about Nebraska. I'm here in PA. I'll probably send an email or two, or maybe give the PAFOA a call, the Pennsylvania Firearms Association. And you know, it's on a Sunday, which is nice. I'm gonna try and go to the Capitol. You know, obviously, you know, it's not far away. You know, I'm in central PA, so I'm gonna try and go down. I know they're running it. They're gonna try and run it until, you know, 4 in the afternoon, which is cool. And you know, try and go down and just be there. You know, to kind of be a presence. I know Rock Humper got a hold of me and asked me if I was going, so who knows? Maybe Rock and I will hang out a little bit there if we're the only ones. But that's a cool thing. I know you guys, everybody that's here, I'm sure knows about it. But who knows? Maybe somebody will pick up this chat that hasn't heard. So maybe, you know, be a little bit vocal about it. The bump stock thing, I think, is, as much as most of us don't give a shit about bump stocks, it is the quote-unquote slippery slope, you know, and it's what, you know, all the bigger, everybody's channel is bigger than me, right? So I can say all the bigger channels, because, you know, I'm just a little dude here, but it is what they say, especially that the law is written the way it is, or the proposed law, with the, you know, anything that speeds up the fire rate or anything like that. It's this crazy huge blanket statement that could be anything, and that's scary. So, you know, we'll see what happens with that. But, you know, and gun channels, gunchannels.com. I mean, I know you guys are probably all on there. I'm sure. If not, there are pills for that midnight. Pills for what? I wasn't paying attention. Being sleepy? Because, yeah, I'm sleepy. That's what happens when you get up at 5:45 in the morning. And now, talking about being asleep, I'm going to yawn again. I'm going to take a nap here. You guys just talk amongst yourselves, yeah? Oh, little guy. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know if they work. I never tried them. How'd they work for you, John? Did they work or no? I mean, yeah, you don't have to tell us here, I'm sure, but that's okay. So, gunchannels.com. Awesome place, great meeting place, great place if you're bored to just go and hang out and see who's doing what and talk. And also, one of the other things that's I found super, super cool about gun channels is the ability for anybody to jump in a chat. So if you are a little nervous about getting into a chat, if you want to practice, if you want to start your own channel and you're nervous about live streaming, like most of us were, I know I was, to be able to hop into something like that is awesome. And it gives you a little practice, cut your teeth on a chat that, you know, maybe not a whole lot of people are watching, and you're just getting in a bullshit session and learning how to use the platform, or your phone or your computer or whatever. That's great. So do that. So those are the things that I wanted to kind of start out with. You know, what do you guys have? Phoenix says we need to get me drunk. Then when he passes out, dye his mohawk like the dude from Return of the Living Dead. All right, let's do it. D-Tem says, what's that, John? No-go pills? RL says, we hold a big rally every spring. Lots of prior notice. So we got favorite. Oh, RL, you're in PA, right? Yeah, are you coming down? Are you going to the Capitol? Man, it's not even that late. I am losing it here. Okay, cool. He says he'll be down. Yeah, that'll be super neat. It'll be interesting to see how much steam it gets by that point, because it could be really neat. Oh, cool. The Pennsylvania Firearms Association already knows about it. How do you know they know about it? Did they put something out? Did they put out? I know they have like tons of like bulletin boards and email lists and all that kind of stuff. How do you know they know about it? Fucking, I don't know who's who. I don't know who's other and who's other Travis. I don't know. So, you're what's your double T? We call you double T. There you go. I mean, John's double T too, because he gets teabagged a lot. Like, you get one after another, but you know. Oh, there was a thread on there today, and you remember. Awesome. Awesome. How'd you do your ribs, man? Yeah, but you're Phoenix, so nobody knows you as Sean on here. Or you were SC92847365412B ampersand or whatever. John says I love his tea bags. Shh. God damn it, John. I don't want to have to delete another stream. That'd be like 4 in a row. Good God. 867-5309. Yeah. Yeah, Jenny. You give him a call. Travis says he grilled him with the rub because fuck sauce. Yeah, so you did the dry rub. I used to braise mine. And I would braise them in, you know, like a beer braise. I do pork stock, get like pork base. I do pork stock like a lager, using Yingling lager because it's a, you know, it's a PA beer that's always around. You know, fresh veggies, mirepoix, carrot, celery, onion, you know, that kind of thing. Braise them super low and slow, and then we just throw them on the grill to order after they were cool, and glaze them. Yeah, it's kind of the same idea. Clover says marinade, dry, then finish with sauce. Yep. I just braise them ahead of time. It's for the restaurant. It's nice because it's a little. For me, it was a little faster, you know, and they just turned out really good. Kind of fall off the bone, kind of thing. I didn't have a smoker at the time. RL says, for God's sake, stop rubbing it dry. Walmart has hand lotion is cheap. Yeah, Walmart's lotion is cheap, and it's good. John told me. He said that shit. He said that stuff holds up to temperatures like almost like a space shuttle tile, because he drank a whole bunch of Red Bulls one night and went at it, and he said it barely smoked at all. He said, yeah, it was really nice. Yeah, when the bones pop out. Yep. Yeah, Travis said when the bones pop out. I guess I should say on the ribs when the bones pop out. You know, they're done. Not again. We're not talking about John. No, the lotion didn't feel funny. It puts the lotion in the basket though, John. I guess if you're self-checkout at Walmart, you could say that. It puts the lotion in the basket, and then it buys it, and then it puts the lotion in the bag and then goes home. Mary Moan, Phoenix. Don't like a meat, but you sure like a bone. Let's see, what did I miss up here? You guys are really chatting away tonight, man. I guess I should just roll with it. No, Clover says fall off the bone is not necessarily overcooked. It's not. And generally, if you do like a 2-part cooking, either you braise it or you slow roast it. When you cook it that first time, it gets super tender. If you let it chill, let it cool, it'll firm up, and then you could cook it a second time, put it into either just finish it in the oven with a glaze, or throw it right on a grill, and it'll hold together. It won't fall apart. It shouldn't, anyway. You know, as long as it doesn't stick to your grill or something horribly. Phoenix says, not sure. Moo Bud or Two Live Moo enjoy us talking about cooking. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the Chick-fil-A commercials or the billboards when it was a cow. It was a cow and it said, eat more chicken. What? John says, oh man, damn it, my legs are putting my pants on. I can't stop them, and my stomach is talking now. What the hell is going on with you, John? Yeah, eat more chicken. They used to spell it CHIKN or something like that, too. It was funny. Oh, John's going to the store. Throw your headphones in. Put your, you know, then you can go to the store. And if you have any questions, I can live help you, man. That's awesome. Gary says the easiest way is to drive to the barbecue stand downtown and buy them. Yeah, that is easier. John's pills must be kicking in, yeah. So get your ass to the store, John. I'll help you out if you need it. I'm always bullshitting at the store. It rubs the oil on the grill. That's right. I don't think I had anything else written down. Man, I need to take a nap before I do this. You know, Gary says he's single. The tough thing for me is I don't want to cook for just one person. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of people say that. I hear that all the time where people are like, oh, I hate to cook for one. If you like gadgets, buy a vacuum sealer. Fun to play with. Clover says I smoke a week's worth at one time, Gary. Wow. I'm going to leave that one alone because I respect you, Clover. But you have a vacuum sealer. Awesome. Yeah, I have one at the restaurant. I love it. I would say, you know, not only just using the leftovers, but trying different things that you might be able to vacuum seal just because it's fun. Then you know it's kind of cool to get them out and try them. I was talking about this last week, I think, with the vacuum sealer. I was talking, it might have been even been somebody else's show. It could have been Caliber Corner or something. I don't know. Doing some things that you might be able to cook in the bags is kind of neat. Like if you, I don't know if you like seafood. I know you like gizzards, but if you like salmon's a great one. If you get like a pound of salmon or something, you know, cut it into 2 portions, eat one way, maybe throw it on your grill, you know, marinate it and grill it and do something like that. And then the second one, yes, Mel, this thing is on. And then the second one, throw it in the vacuum seal bag with maybe like julienne veg, like something small that's going to cook quick. Like a julienne veg or, you know, some broccoli. Even like spinach or something would probably work. Season it, throw in whatever you want as far as, you know, a marinade. Something simple, you know, garlic, some fresh herbs, a little bit of butter, salt and pepper, season it. And then vacuum seal that son of a bitch. Maybe some fresh scallion or something like that for a little onion without being like too overpowering. And then vacuum seal it and throw it in your freezer. Forget about it. If you use spinach, I talked about spinach. Clover says spinach is so good. For something like this, I would use regular spinach, not... yeah, Phoenix. I'll get to that then, actually. The MRE thing. Use a regular spinach, like an adult spinach, and chop it up. That way it doesn't turn to absolute mush on you inside. Throw it in your freezer and forget about it. And then, you know, a week or so down the road when you want to finish it or eat it, take it out the night before into your fridge. Let it thaw out. And then the next day, you know, get a pot of water boiling and just throw it right in there. Kind of throw the lid on it. Forget about it for, you know, I wouldn't even boil it. Let it come up to a simmer. Throw it in there. And then as soon as the water temperature comes back up to almost boiling, just turn it off. And let it sit for 10 minutes. I don't know. I guess it depends on how thick it's going to be. But that is a killer way to do salmon. It's a technique in French. It's called sous vide, or under vacuum. And they make special like circulators that circulate the water, you know, to keep the perfect temperature and all that stuff. But that's not for home use. Whatever. You don't need to spend hundreds of bucks on something like that. But yeah, that would be awesome. John vacuum seals his vacuum seal bags. Yeah, you don't want those bags to go bad, John. I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer, right? Jared wants to know, will this vacuum sealing work for Kraft macaroni and cheese? Yeah, it would. I mean, I don't know how much of a joke that was supposed to be, but yeah, you can, most vacuum sealers have a wet or dry setting. Insert joke here. But yeah, you can use it with something with a wet marinade, or you can vacuum seal mac and cheese, sure. And that's kind of Phoenix kind of commented about, you know, MREs. Yeah, I totally thought about that a few years back, trying to do something like that, and it just, I never was able to take it to kind of fruition. Was doing something called an urban MRE, and doing things that you could just take and throw straight in the microwave to warm them through, or like the water bath, that kind of thing. Maybe someday I will, but yeah, mac and cheese would work great. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you could literally, you know, you could probably freeze it too. It would be best if you undercook the pasta. Yeah, Phoenix says that would be a good video. I should do a video like that. Would be kind of neat. Something different. But if you undercooked whatever you got in there and then just took it out the night before, thawed it out, and pitched it in, you know, the water or whatever, that'd be great. On top of that, it would be awesome for lunches instead of the same old brown bag lunchy kind of stuff, or taking, you know, like a to-go container or Tupperware container and bringing it home and washing it or throwing it away or whatever. You'd throw the vacuum seal bag away too, but that would be kind of cool. Yeah. TJ says he's rarely serious unless he is. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, that's like, I always do something, and unless I don't do it, then I'm not doing it. So what else you guys got? Phoenix, selfless plug, you son of a bitch. It reminds me, Tuesday will be his 44 video. You mean your 44th video? Or your 44, like 44 caliber? Yeah, it doesn't have a little dot in front of the 44, so I don't know if that's... I'm guessing you mean 44. And it also doesn't have 44th with a T and H, so... Ooh, Ruger Redhawk 44 mag. I like. Mail it to me. I'll do a review on it for you. Maybe I'll send it back. Maybe I won't. Yeah. 44 is cool. 44 is on my list. I mean, there's a lot of shit on my list, though. Yeah. It's hard. It's hard, like, it's hard when you say, oh, that's on my list, but you don't actually have a list. You just, in your mind, keep adding more and more guns to this imaginary list that doesn't even exist. It's just, you Clover says, I don't over... He doesn't always stay up late watching shows on YouTube. When I do, it's mine. That's cool. I'm pretty happy with the time slot. I mean, you know, it's a little late for East Coasters to do like 10 or 10:30, but it's kind of, I find it kind of cool to be, as far as I know, the last guy of the week, unless they do a lobby chat or something like that. But it's kind of neat to be the last guy of the week, kind of close the week out here, you know. Maybe that'll turn into a thing. Maybe people think that's kind of cool. I would like to do 10 o'clock, but little guy wanted to stay up late today, so it took us a couple extra minutes to get him down. Grim says, oh yeah, it's your fault I had to cook yesterday. What did you have to cook? Did you have to cook one of the videos? Did you get stuck? Phoenix says she got it for deer season. The 44 mag for deer season. That's awesome. You should take Tony hunting with you. Tony York. Call him up. He hunts with his 44, I believe. John says vacuum sealing is fun, Jared. Do it now. It is pretty neat. It's kind of cool. It's oddly satisfying for some reason. I don't know. It's you feel like you're helping preserve the quality of something, which kind of makes you feel good, I guess. Yeah, I can be the closer. MidnightRangeTM live closer episode, live closer or something. We could start calling them. Oh, the kiddos wanted mac and cheese. Awesome, buddy. You do it without the spice, though, I'm guessing. But that's cool. You've had that one before, right? You've done that before? Is that becoming like one of your go-tos now? That's awesome. Hey, Hobby Master, what's going on? It's not morning yet. Here, anyway. Double T says, mac and cheese is amazing smoked. If you haven't watched my mac and cheese video, you should watch it. It's actually, I use a smoked, right? Smoked Gouda? Oh, no, I don't. No, that's a habanero mac. That's right. I've done it before with smoked Gouda, the same cheese I used on the cheesesteak in a cheesesteak video. That is awesome too. That's really good. It's not a cheese that melts super easy. Usually it's a little bit dense, so you definitely want to shred it or slice it really thin. But you know, the same technique as in the video. If you use that cheese, it's pretty killer. Hobby Master's just getting off a shift at work. That's good. I'm glad you're done, man. Take it easy. Relax. Let's bullshit a little bit. Oh, Grim said he had to do two. One hot for her, but seriously, did too. That's kind of neat, though. Well, what you need to do is you need to just make one and get yourself, you know, find yourself a really good hot sauce that you like. There's some really good Chipotle sauces out there and stuff like that. And there's so many, like, it was a couple of years ago, it was so cool that we're doing all these like small batch, and all these individuals were doing their own hot sauces. Even at the grocery store, there's like, you get like 25 different hot sauces. Find one and you know, just let her add it to it. Shit. John Money Shot. Ooh, no bueno, man. Phoenix says, what's worse, TM the finisher or John Z Project the fluffer? I would, oh boy, I guess the finisher is worse. I mean, yeah, there's more cleanup involved. That's no good. Phoenix says, Hobby Master D, I keep reading your name as Vampire Hunter D. He likes the D. Hobby says, I guess you mean, would you do some Mexican dishes? I have a new ghost pepper salsa that I want to use. Man, ghost pepper is, that's brutal, man. That stuff's brutal. I mean, it's not, it's at the towards the top of the list now, but God, it's probably, I don't know, ghost pepper's probably barely in the top 10 as far as hot heat goes. And this was it the Scoville units. Whew, brutal, man. There's a Carolina Reaper. There was like a Texas Reaper. There are different varieties of whatever the Reaper, this Reaper chili that was just, people were going, I tasted, there's, no, the scorpion chili I had. I think the Texas Reaper might be the hottest, and then there's one below it called like the Scorpion chili or something like that. And the Scorpion chili, I was at a food show or something one time, and they had some. I just touched that thing to my tongue, man, and I was like, I was ready to get the hell out of that place, man. I didn't want anything to do with that place. He needs, Hobby says he's amazing in flavor. He needs to get some other hot pepper salsas too. John says, ghost peppers are for pussyfooters. Get with the program. Yeah, anyway, man. If it's not a Reaper or better, you don't want anything to do with it. Phoenix says, anything BW3's hot wings. BW3's, is that a place? Hot wings, and I'll pass. Yeah, I'm not a super hot. Yeah. John likes it spicy. John likes it spicy. He stocks up. He's got, 3 cases of toilet paper in the bathroom at all time. He's ready to go. he's a chili prepper. Oh, Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings are one of my favorite things, man. Clover likes to dry his peppers. Use them to spice later. Yeah, they lose a lot. Yeah, they do lose a lot of their heat. This is always weird about peppers too, or chilies, when you dry them. I guess not when you dry them, they keep the same name, but when you smoke them, they'll call them something different. Like a dried jalapeno is a dried jalapeno, but a smoked jalapeno is a chipotle. They have different. Buffalo Wild Wings is anti-gun. I've never been to a Buffalo. We have one super close, but I've never been there. But I'll have to look that up. I'm interested to see. I always kind of take people's words for it, especially on here with you guys. If a business is not, gun nut friendly, carry friendly, or whatever. But it's always interesting to see what made them, how people know that. Did they make a comment, or is it just something that got out, or is it somebody was asked to leave because they were carrying or something? I'm always curious to see why, or how we know that. Yeah, fuck those hot wings, man. That's... Oh, Gary says the words are on their doors. They have a do not, we do not, no firearms allowed or something like that. Fuck them. Double T says the one in Orlando gets robbed a lot. No gun signs on the door. I haven't been to it. TJ says he likes Hooters wings. I haven't been to Hooters in, God, I don't know how long. I was probably in culinary school yet. It was 15 years ago or so. I'm going to say right now that I'm boycotting Buffalo Wild Wings, because the chances of me ever going there anyway are slim to none, so screw it. Clover doesn't like wings? Oh, man, Clover. There's wings that they're just, I don't know, man. It honestly is one of my favorite things. one of my favorite foods. I love a good wing. There's a wing place that we used to get from when we visited family, and they do a nice size wing, but yeah, Phoenix says he likes the little drumsticks better than the wings. They'll call them drumettes, and then the other part, the part that's more towards the end, the drumette's up here. The wingette, it's called the wingette, would be this part. It's called a wingette. They used one of the best ones this place used to do is garlic parmesan ranch, and they take the wings, fry them, and then toss them in a little bit of melted butter, like a melted garlic butter, and then dust them with a little bit of the grated parmesan and the powdered ranch seasoning. Not seasoning, but the ranch mix that you would use to make ranch. Boy, I'll tell you what, man, those were good. They did a hot honey barbecue that was slamming, you know. But that garlic parm ranch one was pretty awesome. George says that's why they closed. Who closed? Oh yeah, the Hooters. Yeah, mini Hooters. Yeah, I went to culinary school with a girl that was a server at Hooters, and yeah, I don't know. Same thing. Hooterless. Crab legs are the same. You can eat them all day, but take all day to eat. Yeah, I think unless you're eating like the Alaskan king crabs, which are like brutal expensive, that's a truckload of money. If you're munching on like snow crabs, like smaller snow crabs or blue claws or something like that, man, it's more the experience. It's more like, you know, if you and your friends or you and your family like that kind of thing, like I do, I think it's cool. Go to a crab shack and, you know, you get the mallet and you're just, you know, making a mess and having fun. You know, if your kid's, like mine's a little bit young for this, obviously, but when your kid hits like 8 or 10, that'd be a fun night out. You know, if you're, you know, have your kid breaking his own crabs up and stuff like that, it's cool. It's an experience, and I think a restaurant doesn't have to be expensive to also be an awesome experience, you know, and that's a pretty good example. Phoenix says imitation crab in my giant eagle fake sushi, and I'm happy. That is fake crab. It's called surimi. Generally, it's like pollock or like a generic, you know, whitefish that's just blended up, pureed up, formed in molds, cooked. Actually, I don't know if they use molds or they might even use casings, almost like a hot dog. That would probably be one of the easiest way. And then, you know, it's white, and then they just add a little bit of red food coloring to make it like the red, like it's almost like real crab. Gizzard Master. Ooh, that's a good name. Yeah, he says lots of soy and wasabi, and you can't taste the difference. It's kind of a bummer that some restaurants will use that and chop it up and cut it into like spicy tuna rolls and stuff, because it just doesn't have any flavor. It's a bummer. Gary did not have gizzards this week. No wonder. You seem tired. You seem tired. You seem like you're off. You need some gizzard power. Be a good superhero, Gizzard Man. A lot of stuff passing me by here. Oh yeah. Gary said, I knew I saw something about crawfish. Boiled crawfish, you have to eat a couple dozen of those at least to make, yeah. There's, I mean, what is there? Half a tablespoon sized chunk of meat in each one of those. Clover says Pizza Hut is really greasy, but yeah, good but greasy. Yeah, I think that's kind of their claim to fame, isn't it? That the whole damn thing is just like, it's like buttery, super buttery garlic bread with cheese and tomato on top. I mean, my wife likes Pizza Hut. I like Independence more. I'll eat Pizza Hut. It just doesn't have any character, I don't think, you know? Do you remember the Bigfoots? The Hobby Masters, these Bigfoots? Yeah, I do remember those. George says pizza is the food of the gods. There's a few things in life that are like that, where, you know, the joke is, and something I've always said is, you know, it's whatever it is. It's kind of like pizza. Even when it's bad, it's still good. You know, bad pizza is still pretty damn good. You do a pizza and you overcook it, it's still okay. You undercook it, it's still okay. You put toppings on it that you don't normally like, it's still okay. Sean Callahan had gumbo tonight. That's cool. That's a different kind of chat tonight, isn't it? We're talking about crawfish and gumbo. It's cool. It's good. Hot, cold, pizza's all good. It's true. Yeah, hobby. Gumbo's great, man. Gumbo is one of those things that's a little misunderstood. I think, you know, if you get one that's I won't even say traditional, but if you do one that's done really well, it's great. It's really good. TJ says okra, yuck, slimy. Yeah, okra is kind of tough. I wouldn't say tough. Okra's hard sometimes to cook because it does give off. It has a lot of, like, I don't know if it's the amount of pectin in it. You know, I'm not really sure, but yeah, it does get that slimy, you know. So when you do it in a gumbo or something like that, it's kind of nice because it all dissipates. You know, I'm fat and love food. Teach me, master, says Hobby Master. Yeah, gumbo's really cool. What's neat is when you're talking about food wise, Clover says okra needs to be fried. Okra, I prefer okra fried or in a gumbo. Like when you see it in dishes where it's not, like if you have it in, I don't even know what to, I don't know how to do it, how to talk about it. Either you got to put it in something that's like a soup, or you need to fry the hell out of it, you know, to kind of avoid that kind of happening. Sean, yeah, andouille sausage. Travis, calamari, T, you know, double T. Calamari is something I need to try cooking. I could help you out with that. You know, calamari is like one of those things that you just need to not screw it up. It's hard to do at home, maybe, because you want to really fry it at a proper temperature, and you know, it is easier with a deep fryer for sure. You know, what were we talking about? Oh, I wanted to talk about gumbo a little bit. I need to stop reading this damn chat and just start talk for like 5 minutes. Gumbo is really cool because you know, I know we've talked about roux before, R-O-U-X, roux. In my mac and cheese video, we used the roux to make the sauce, the cream sauce. So, excuse me. With that, butter, flour, you know, melt it, mix it in, add the milk or whatever. With a gumbo, you're going to make a dark roux. We're actually going to cook that butter and flour for a while until it gets, you know, the color of like a, like a cardboard box, I guess is weird, or a paper bag. That sort of dark, rich, you know, tan color. And what that does is it gives the whole soup this like dark, rich kind of color and this nutty flavor. And it does obviously it's there for thickening. So that's one of the biggest things that people do when they make gumbo. The biggest mistakes is they don't cook their roux. And Fat Guys with Guns cooking show, there you go. You're at the right spot, bro. It's people don't cook it long enough, and then their gumbo, their soup, whatever you want to call it, it's goop, is the soup, turns out anemic, I guess. It's the 9mm of gumbo if you don't cook your roux enough. So, but yeah, you're always gonna have. Phoenix says liver and onions is good, but 90% of places make it crap. Yeah, because 90% of the places just throw it in a goddamn pan and throw it on a plate. That's it. Yeah, it's tough. So andouille sausage, shrimp, chicken, sometimes beef too. You'll see beef, like chunks of beef in it, and a southern or Creole mirepoix, celery. Onions and green peppers, bell peppers. It's called the Trinity. In French cooking, a mirepoix is going to be celery, onion, and carrot. You'll see that in a lot of French dishes and American dishes. It's like super traditional to start stocks and soups. And I want to do a turkey video for Thanksgiving here, and I'll be roasting celery, onions, carrots, tomatoes as part of my stock. So you'll see that. But the Southern mirepoix, the Creole mirepoix, the Trinity, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't have the carrots. It has peppers. So Mad Sexy, what's going on? So that's part of it. I mean, a good gumbo recipe is awesome. It's one of those meals in itself. You know, you start it, takes a while. It could take you a couple hours to get it done. But it's also one of those things that, like, a big bowl of gumbo with some rice on the side, or rice mixed in. I like to mix it in, you know. And like a big chunk of bread. It's killer. It's the way to go. I love it. That's Mad Sexy. That's not Matt. That's other not Matt. That's who that is. Double T says he smokes a turkey every Christmas. That's cool. I'm gonna do. I'm hoping to do probably the beginning of November. I want to try and do a turkey video because I debone my turkey now. Well, I take the breast off. I debone the turkey in the sense that I take the breast meat out, and I also and then I'll take the legs, leave the bones in it, and brine it. It's a killer. It's so nice. He says he smokes a turkey. Gary says, what end do you light? The end without the hole in it? Come on. Phoenix says deep frying requires alchemy and a cast iron pan. Cast iron does help. Like a Dutch oven kind of thing is nice because it holds the heat. When you throw something in that you're deep frying, if it cools the oil off too much, it'll screw everything all up. Travis says, which end would you put your mouth on? Neither end. Mad Sexy says, it's cool. It's not the first time a guy tried to hit on me. There you go. You should feel honored. Flattered, not honored. Who the fuck would I wouldn't honor anybody by hitting them on? They'd be like, ugh, leave me alone, you monster. But flattered, maybe. Pinch of this, dash of that. It's like, Grandmama, I need exacts. Gary says, that's it. Next week, I'm eating the gizzards. Do it, man. We need you on your game. You got to make sure that on the 4th, Let's see, November 4th. You go out, get yourself an extra order of gizzards. Get 2. Get a double order. You eat your gizzards the 4th. You get up in the morning. You eat your gizzards for breakfast, and bam, right to the gun rally you go. Hobby Master says, favorite cut of steak. I look at it a couple different ways. One, I like a ribeye. I like a good ribeye. And it doesn't have to be a super expensive steak. Ribeye generally, as long as it has some good marbling in it, you know, you can get some good ribeyes that aren't going to break the bank. So, I do like ribeye. Probably my favorite steak right now, we started working with a local farm that's growing wagyu. W-A-G-Y-U, wagyu. And it's the same breed of cow that is bred and raised in Kobe, Japan. So, you know, it's not grown with the same techniques. It's not nearly as marbled, but it's great. It's better than prime for sure. And we've been getting them in New Yorks, whole New Yorks, and I cut my own. And that's one of the best steaks I've ever had, for sure. It's an organic practice grown. It's not certified organic, but they grow with organic practices. Wagyu, New York. One of my favorites. Awesome. It's the best mix of bite but tender that I've had. You know, ribeyes are really nice and tender, and they're a good way to go. New Yorks, I feel New Yorks tend to be a little chewy. They can be if you get one that's not awesome. So it's kind of a roll of the dice. But the Wagyus have been awesome. There's something else up there. Oh, Kansas City strip. Kansas City strip is okay. So a Kansas City strip is half of a porterhouse or a T-bone. A Kansas City strip is also a bone-in ribeye. Okay, so when you see a T-bone, I'm trying to do it like this here. Okay, so you got kind of like a T-bone here, and you got this part over here, and then the bone down the middle. I don't know how to do this. I'm like retarded here. So on one side you've got the tenderloin, and on the other side, the larger side, you've got the New York strip. Okay, the difference between a porterhouse and porterhouse and a T-bone is the amount of tenderloin on the cut. Here. Okay. So, if the percentage of tenderloin per steak is less than a certain percentage, it's a T-bone. If the weight of the tenderloin is larger, then it can be classified as a porterhouse. So that's why sometimes you see T-bones that just have a tiny little bit of fillet on them. They wouldn't be allowed to technically call that a porterhouse. Welcome to Shadow Puppets with MidnightRangeTM. Yeah, it was pretty weak. It's kind of hard to do that and have not enough fingers. RL's gonna do. He's gonna do. What is a good creamy spinach soup? I'll tell you what's a really neat soup that we've done at the restaurant. It's funny, you guys are asking questions that I actually have a lot of answers to. Yeah, hashtag neverenufffingers. That's right. Yeah, you could use that. You can use that in the bedroom too. Hashtag neverenufffingers. We've done this soup in a restaurant that's a chickpea and spinach. And we've done it vegetarian, but it doesn't necessarily have to be vegetarian. Actually, we've done it vegetarian, and we've done it with chicken too, which is really good. And we just do a really simple cream, like a cream sauce or a cream base, just like you would for anything, like a clam chowder or something like that. You start out with a roux, onions, garlic, something like that, aromatic, saute that, build the roux then. And then for me, because I wasn't necessarily worried about vegetarian, use a chicken stock, but you can use a vegetable stock too. So now you've got like a thickened creamy chicken soup. It's hard to say. A thick, creamy chicken soup, basically. And from there, what's nice is to throw in some garbanzo beans or chickpeas. And if you have an immersion blender, that's awesome. Just kind of pulse it with your immersion blender. If not, you can put a little bit in a blender. And then what I like to do is take some chicken breast, marinate it, and grill it, and chop it or dice it up small, and throw that in. So you've got grilled chicken and not just chicken that's been cooked in liquid. And then some chiffonade or some chopped up spinach. That was a really good soup. The chickpeas and the cream is blended up in the cream soup. Was really good flavor. You don't necessarily have to blend it up smooth either, or you don't have to blend it up at all. You can make the cream base and then just throw the spinach, chickpeas, and celery, chicken in there. But that's a good one. That's a good soup to do. I would try that. Yeah. Sean Callahan says, reverse seared ribeye. What do you mean by that? Reverse seared ribeye. Are you talking about you cook it like... You could sous vide a steak and then just sear it, like we talked about sous vide earlier in the vacuum sealer. You could do that with a steak, and then right before service, sear it super hot in like a cast iron. That would be a really cool way to do it. You could sous vide it and then do a dry rub or some sort of dry spice mix and sear it really quick. That would be really cool too. You're welcome, Mad Sexy. Good luck. Good luck with the soup and the after party there. Sarah said he hasn't loaded 9 since a panic. Yeah, it's pretty cheap now. My whole thing with reloading has always been, since I got into it, not so much that you have to reload or you even should reload because of money. For me, it's the ability to reload. I can reload. I actually have rounds loaded, test rounds loaded for my 7.62 by 39 that I haven't even had a chance to shoot yet. But it was the kind of thing like, okay, I started with my 8mm, then I started loading for 40, then I started loading for 9, then I was like, well, hell, now I want to load for 7.62 by 39. See you, Mad Sexy. Take it easy, bro. Hey, let me know what's up if you try that soup, man. I'd love to hear. Do a video. And now that I have the 308, of course, like that was part of the package deal. I was ordering this, I ordered that, I ordered this. You just order the dies right along with it. So, I've never reloaded shotgun, George. I have heard it's very easy. I just don't shoot shotgun enough. But I guess that kind of contradicts what the hell I just said, doesn't it? Like, it's not that I want to, it's that you feel like you should be able to. Man, we've been going over an hour already. Fucking time flies, doesn't it? RL says you were trolling Midnight Range TM's food chat with gun chat. Irony? Yeah, it's ironic. What that's the first that's the first thing that came up when Ellis asked me to maybe to try and do, hey, Alan, what's happening? To do the interview, you know, his shows. Everybody's like, oh, we're going to turn it into a gun chat. I'm like, fucking go ahead. I love guns. What the hell? I don't give a shit. What's going on with Mr. Allen tonight? George says he likes using the all-in-one reloading shotgun shell press. I'm gonna have to look into. I guess I'm gonna have to look into reloading shotgun shells just to see. Oh man, Alan, I'm still trying to kick it too. I was sick for 2 weeks, man. Whew, I know it's been going around. I got sick. It was sinuses. It was everything. It's only $50. Now you can reload shotgun with handgun powders, right? Or no? Yeah, I went to the doctor, Alan, and like when I walked in, and yeah, I told him what was going on. They just kind of laughed and shook their head and said, "Oh my God, we've had so many people come in with that." About 2.5 weeks ago, our weather really like took a weird turn for the cold, and it just everybody started getting sick. It was crazy. Yeah, I have to look into it. I really don't have a desire to reload shotgun, but it would be kind of cool to be able to do it. It sucks that they can't. It sucks that you can't use. You know, like I couldn't use my current press to reload shotgun shells. It's kind of. I wonder why. I wonder why there's no way. I mean, you guys that are reloading shotgun shells, why is it? Why can you not? Why haven't they figured out how to use? Like I have a rock chucker. I just have a single stage rock chucker, or CBS. Why could I not use that for shotgun? Oop, you know what? I think my little guy just woke up. Guys, I'm going to have to cut it short here. Go see what he needs. Might have to help him get back to bed. So we're going to cut it short. We went a little over an hour. That's cool. So I want to thank you guys for, yeah, he sounds upset. I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to go help him get back to sleep here. Tuck him in. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully Matt does his show. You know, thank Patreon, thank everybody, and you know, if you guys have any comments, questions, you know, put them under the. I know, I'm sorry, Alan. Open up a chat, man. I'm sure these guys would love to come and ruin one of your chats. And leave some questions, comments. You know, if you guys want anything, you guys want to see something specifically, you know, let me know. All right? So let me go here. I got to deal with my little man here, okay? Have a good night, guys. Thanks for coming. Bye.